Hello, my name is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambo, and I have a website titled Mobile Audit Club. It's also spelled Mobile Audit Club, however you want to do it. I want to talk about another kind of fraud and scam that's going on in Florida in the real estate business. I'm an investigative reporter, degreed. I'm also a degreed accountant. I was at one time a bank examiner for the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and I will talk about that murderous sect that hides within the federal government, that kills federal banking regulators of high rank, and who tried to kill me, and I survived. And they said, well, you're just nuts. I survived an attempt on my life. I'll get to that. Let's talk about Florida real estate scam. I just bought a house in Florida. I knew something was wrong when I bought it. I let it go to fruition because I wanted to see what would happen. This house was bought from Jana Allerid, a Czechoslovakian who was working for Move for Less Realty. She has a website titled Jana Sells Homes for Less, or something of that sort. Her and her husband are in this together. They live in a nice home on Perdido Bay. They have more money than your average realtor. Of course, why wouldn't they? I've often been told the sociopaths are the ones in the sales business who have the most money. Jana, congratulations to your high income. You're only joined by a select few, and welcome from Czechoslovakia. Now, in my particular instance, there was mold in the attic. What they had done is gone up with bleach and washed it out. Who did it? Was either Ron, her husband, or their inspector, David Martin, who I got Jana to refer to me by name. He's with A1 Inspections. Congratulations on the beginning of your race war, David. I told David about a murder of a regional director at the San Francisco FDIC. That was in the early 90s, during Bush Sr.'s reign, during the savings and loan crisis. He was killed in his office and labeled a suicide. That's another story. I survived an attempt on my life in 2001 on the highways after testing the replacement for the dead man where I had worked. And the government ignored all my calls for help, not even responding. All they did was push me from government in Mobile, Alabama eventually, and eventually inject me with drugs in Los Angeles, forcibly. And then they had me on a rope and led me around for a while, and I was injected again in Arizona. So now I do not use VA health care, even though I can go for free. Let's talk about another real estate fraud. In Florida, they have radon gas in many homes. You will go into a home and the radon detector will not be going off. If they have a radon detector, that probably means you have radon gas, and there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do about it. Because what they do is they put a slight film on the detector installed in the home or something of that sort so it doesn't go off for 2 or 3 months. I know a woman who has this in her home. She is distraught because it went off 3 months afterward. The Better Business Bureau would not help her, nor would any attorneys, because it costs too much money. So she's stuck with a home she's upside down on. Do not worry about going into foreclosure. The United States government, or whoever controls them, who I consider my mortal enemy, operates off of fear. I used to fear them. You can see it in some of my videos. I'm actually shaking after being injected forcibly. This was after they got me by the rope, by the neck, as hard as they could. I actually went to court one time in Mobile, Alabama, and afterward I spit blood. I don't know what they did to me. They wave a wand over your head when you go to the they have machines they can use. Believe me. I work in the multi-billion, if not multi-trillion dollar banking regulatory sector. When you have money involved, all the rules melt. It is a jungle out there. It is dog eat dog. My advice to you is do not buy United States real estate. If you can, go to some place where there's a holy land that you can just worship and enjoy the rest of your life, even if you have to live in a tent. Do not buy into their game. Do not buy into their fear. I hope to see the regime in power executed. This is my own personal thing for those who approve of forced injections on innocent Americans and those who approve of rip-offs in the real estate business. We shouldn't be tormented and tortured. We should not have to pay. We shouldn't be slaves to them. They lie to us. The government does not care. So there's a lot more scams out there. There's mold that they can hide with bleach. There's radon that they can hide with a little oil and a radon detector. There's leaky roofs they can hide with polyelastometric coating. There are numerous scams out there, ladies and gentlemen. Best bet's to live in a tent. Never trust the United States government. Never trust realtors. Not to say all are bad. Just never trust realtors. Never trust your inspectors. Make sure you bring in someone who's unbiased. And I recommend not even buying a home in the United States. Like I said, as soon as I sell this place, which I'm currently working on basically for free, or having other people do it and spending money, I'm going to give it to a veteran. I'm going to be honest with him about everything in here. I'm going to try to sell it to a veteran at my cost. The house was marked down a bit. The last people took a bloodbath on this particular home. They lost money out of it. I feel sorry for them, and I will lose money. The only people making money are the corrupt realtors and their corrupt inspectors. The federal government does not care about us. We should not care about them. I'm hoping for the rise of a humane, revolutionary party to help everyone and to help us get off this planet and be free. The government blocks many of us from voting or even entering government buildings. It is my hope they are destroyed. It's not just this house or the ladies that bought the house whose children are now probably sick from radon gas and probably have cancer and die at a young age. There's so much. They're doing forced injections on veterans, forced experiments on veterans, killing federal banking regulators, and actually sanctioning it and calling it suicide. That's your money. It is everything in the money area. The only thing left is a spiritual component. As the old saying goes, you can't take it with you, so why buy a house? It's going back to those filthy rich bankers anyway, the ones who own that government that is the enemy to our people. They are international. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambo, and a Mobile Auto Club, telling the real estate agency to F off.